Hello again. Today we shift our focus to the French Revolution. Have you ever wondered how a nation can flip from monarchy to republic in just a decade? Imagine, if you will, a society on the brink of upheaval. The late 18th century France, a land of opulence and destitution, a stark contrast between the haves and the have-nots. In the years leading up to the Revolution, French society was strictly divided into three estates. The first and second estates, comprised of the clergy and nobility respectively, enjoyed immense privileges, while the third estate, the commoners, bore the brunt of the nation's financial burdens. The country was in dire straits financially, a crisis largely due to its involvement in the American Revolution. France, despite its own internal struggles, had poured an enormous amount of resources into supporting the American colonies in their fight against British rule. This decision, while politically strategic, left France's economy in tatters. At the helm of this spiraling crisis was King Louis XVI, a monarch ill-equipped to handle the mounting pressures of the throne. Louis XVI's inability to manage the crisis and his subsequent attempts at tax reforms only served to deepen the divide between the estates. The common people found themselves shouldering the weight of the nation's debt, while the privileged estates remained largely exempt from taxation. This deep-seated inequality, coupled with the financial crisis and the king's ineptitude, created a simmering resentment among the masses. The seeds of discontent had been sown, and the people of France found themselves yearning for change. The stage was set for a revolution that would not only topple a monarchy, but would also bring about radical social and political changes. As we delve into this tumultuous period of history, we will see how the French Revolution, born from the throes of societal unrest, would forever alter the course of French history. This was the dawn of revolution, a moment in time where the cries for liberty, equality and fraternity echoed through the streets of France, heralding the start of a new era. The stage was set for a revolution that would forever alter the course of French history. 1789 marked the turning point when commoners decided to take matters into their own hands. In France of the late 18th century, society was divided into three estates. The first and second estates were the clergy and nobility, respectively. They were privileged, exempt from many taxes, and formed a tiny fraction of the population. Then there was the third estate, the commoners, who bore the brunt of taxation and were largely excluded from power. The Estates General, a legislative body, was called by King Louis XVI in 1789, the first time in over a century. It was a desperate measure to solve the financial crisis, but it became a catalyst for change. Each estate had one vote, which was unfair to the third estate, representing the majority of the French population. They demanded a voting system based on representation, but were met with resistance. In a bold move, the Third Estate, joined by a few from the other estates, proclaimed themselves the National Assembly. They asserted that they were the true representatives of the French people. This was a direct challenge to the king's authority and the existing social order. One notable event during this period was the tennis court oath. When the National Assembly was locked out of their meeting place, they congregated on a nearby tennis court. They pledged not to disband until they had given France a new constitution, a vow that echoed throughout the nation. Then came the fall of the Bastille, a state prison that symbolized royal tyranny. The attack on the Bastille by the Parisian crowd was a reaction to the king's attempt to suppress the National Assembly. The fall of the Bastille was a victory for the commoners. It marked the beginning of the French Revolution and the end of absolute monarchy. The chains of absolute monarchy were starting to break, setting a path for a new political order. The Estates General had inadvertently opened the floodgates for the French Revolution, and the National Assembly was ready to swim against the tide. This was the dawn of a new era in French history. In the same year, a groundbreaking document emerged that would serve as a beacon for human rights. This was the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, a revolutionary text that lit the path towards liberty in France. It was a manifesto of the Enlightenment, a bold proclamation that citizens were not subjects but free individuals with inherent rights. The declaration asserted the inviolability of these rights: liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. It was a testament to the human spirit, boldly asserting that sovereignty belonged not to monarchs, but to the people. It was a radical shift in political thought, a seismic event that sent shockwaves across the globe. The significance of this document cannot be overstated. It was a beacon of light in a world of darkness, a promise of a better tomorrow. In the heart of the revolution, it inspired the French people to strive for a just society. Liberty, equality, and fraternity became more than just words. They became the pillars of the revolution. But the journey to a republic was not without its dark days. As the revolution gained momentum, a period of unprecedented fear and violence ensued, known as the Reign of Terror. From September 1793 to July 1794, France was under the control of the Committee of Public Safety, led by the zealous revolutionary Maximilien Robespierre. Robespierre, a man of uncompromising ideals, believed that the Republic could only be saved through the purging of those against the revolution. This led to the widespread use of the guillotine, a machine designed for swift and humane executions. The Reign of Terror was marked by an atmosphere of suspicion and paranoia. No one was safe, as accusations of disloyalty could lead to the guillotine. Even the slightest suspicion of counter-revolutionary activities or thoughts could result in a death sentence. Among the most notable victims of this period were the former king, Louis XVI, and his wife, Marie Antoinette. Once considered symbols of the absolute monarchy, they became victims of the revolution they had failed to understand or control. Their executions marked a significant turning point, symbolizing the definitive end of the monarchy and the dawn of the Republic. Yet the Reign of Terror didn't stop at royal blood. It claimed the lives of an estimated 40,000 people, ranging from aristocrats to commoners, all in the name of preserving the Republic. This period of violence and fear ended only when Robespierre himself was overthrown and executed in July 1794, marking the end of the Reign of Terror. In a cruel twist of fate, the revolutionaries, in their pursuit of liberty, equality, and fraternity, had turned into the very oppressors they had vowed to overthrow. In their quest for freedom, the revolutionaries had become the very tyrants they sought to overthrow. Their actions during the Reign of Terror served as a stark reminder of the dangerous extremes to which ideas, even those rooted in the pursuit of freedom and equality, can be taken when unchecked by reason and compassion. As the terror subsided, a new leader was waiting in the wings. The Thermidorian reaction was a revolt within the French Revolution against the excesses of the Reign of Terror. It was triggered by a vote of the National Convention to execute Maximilien Robespierre, who had led the terror and was then a member of the Governing Committee of Public Safety. Robespierre's death on the 28th of July, 1794, marked the beginning of the Thermidorian reaction. With the fall of Robespierre, the Reign of Terror came to an abrupt end. In the wake of Robespierre's fall, a new political structure was established, named the Directory. This was a five-man group that held executive power in France, marking the beginning of a more conservative phase of the revolution. The Directory, however, was riddled with corruption and struggled to maintain public order. Economic instability, political corruption, and ongoing war had taken a heavy toll on France. The Directory was unable to provide the stability and leadership that France so desperately needed. Enter Napoleon Bonaparte, a young and ambitious military leader. He had already proven himself on the battlefield and was seen as a hero by many in France. He seized the opportunity provided by the instability of the Directory and, in 1799, staged a coup d'etat, effectively ending the Directory and the French Revolution. In its place, he established the consulate, with himself as the first consul. In a short time, he would declare himself emperor. Napoleon's rise marked a new era for France and Europe, an era that would be characterized by military conquest, institutional reforms, and the spread of nationalist sentiments. The French Revolution may have ended, but its effects were far from over. The French Revolution, a decade of turmoil, left an indelible mark on the world. The Revolutions was not just a 10-year period of upheaval in France. It was, in essence, the birth of the modern world. The repercussions of this tumultuous time extended far beyond the borders of France, shaping the future of nations across the globe. One of the most significant legacies of the French Revolution was the spread of nationalism. Before the revolution, people primarily identified with their local communities or regions. However, as the revolution progressed, people began to see themselves as part of a larger French nation. This sense of national identity, of belonging to a collective larger than oneself, sparked a wave of nationalism that swept across Europe and the world. Then came the rise of secularism. The revolution challenged the traditional dominance of the Catholic Church in France. It brought about a separation of church and state, a concept that was revolutionary at the time. This led to an increase in secular thinking, with a focus on reason and scientific inquiry over religious doctrine. The revolution, in essence, paved the way for the secular societies that we see today. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, the French Revolution saw the birth of modern political ideologies. The revolution was a crucible for political thought. Ideas of liberty, equality and fraternity, principles that are now fundamental to democratic societies, were born out of the chaos and turmoil of the revolution. These ideologies have shaped the world we live in today, influencing everything from the way we govern ourselves to the way we think about human rights. Moreover, the revolution's influence can be seen in the very language of politics. The words left and right, used to denote political leanings, originated from the seating arrangement in the National Assembly during the Revolution. The French Revolution was more than just a period of change. It was the birth of a new world order. The echoes of that tumultuous decade still resonate in our world today, a testament to the enduring legacy of the French Revolution. The French Revolution, a tumultuous decade that reshaped France and the world. As we journeyed through the narrative of this era, we traced the rise of a movement sparked by the common man, fueled by the fires of inequality, and ignited by the spark of enlightenment. We began with the dawn of revolution, a time of mounting discontent, as the chasm between the privileged and the poor widened. The Estates General and the National Assembly marked a pivotal turning point as voices previously stifled found expression, leading to the Declaration of the Rights of Man, a profound proclamation of universal human rights. Yet, every revolution has its dark side. The Reign of Terror, a grim period of bloodshed and fear, underscored the harsh reality that change often comes at a steep price. But even amidst the chaos, a new order emerged, culminating in the Thermidorian reaction and the rise of Napoleon, a figure who would leave an indelible mark on history. The legacy of the French Revolution extends far beyond the borders of France. It reshaped the world's political landscape, triggering a ripple effect that would usher in a wave of revolutions across Europe and beyond. The principles of liberty, equality and fraternity became the rallying cry for those seeking to challenge the status quo. Yet the revolution serves as more than a historical milestone. It is a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, a reminder that people united in purpose can upend centuries of tradition and bring about a seismic shift in society. It also reminds us that the road to progress is often paved with turmoil and sacrifice. In the grand tapestry of history, the French Revolution stands as a vivid thread, a symbol of the power of the people to shape their destiny. It is a testament to the fact that change, though often painful, is the driving force of progress. The French Revolution, a testament to the power of the people, reminds us that change, though often painful, is the driving force of progress. Thanks for watching. Please stop by again next time.